Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons. We're going to talk about Ben from Questing Beast's shocking video about the OSR and about 5e. So he says, link below, check it out, check out his own words. He literally says it. I'm so shocked what he said. And he said, hey, if you're a 5e player, you expect your Dungeon Master to be a life coach. And if you're the OSR, right, and if you're in the OSR, you expect your Dungeon Master to do nothing but show up at the table. They don't need to storytell, they don't need to be good at the rules, and they certainly don't need to help you as a life coach, right? He's saying, and he says flat out that he likes being in the OSR because he doesn't want to meet these incredibly high expectations of 5e players, right? And it is just astounding to hear him talk, and it just explain. And the reason why I'm so excited about this, and I appreciate your patience because I'm talking a lot about this, I get it, is he has defined the OSR. The OSR is for dungeon masters who do no prep, right? Do not know the rules and cannot tell a story. And once you understand what Ben is saying, you realize why they love everything they love. Random encounter tables. The only thing an OSR player wants is another sentient being to hack in half. Give me a goblin, give me an owlbear, give me, just put the next thing with blood in front of me. I will cut it in half. I don't want any socialization. I don't want any language. I don't want any role play. I don't need you to do anything but set up the living pins for me to cut down. Right? And it's just so simple. And once you just listen to this major brilliant champion of OSR explaining to you that DMs are in the OSR because they are released from expectation, and dungeon masters are running from 5e because the expectations are massive, right? And Ben is 100% correct, right? The expectations of 5e dungeon masters are absolute mastery of the rules, are epic storytelling, the likes of which we see with Matthew Mercer. He is the bar. And life coach, right? And life coach, make me better. I demand it. I do not want to walk away from this table unchanged. I want everything, okay? And it is astounding. It is astounding, right? But what I want to talk about today is that life coach part. How did we... Oh, and by the way, I want to be fair to Ben. I want to explain something, right? He's saying, if you're a 5e player, you are expecting your dungeon master to be a life coach. Ben thinks that expectation is unfair, right? I think Ben's point is irrelevant. Doesn't matter if it's unfair or not. It's the expectation. And when you don't meet it, you are going to have sad 5e players, because 5e players are not like OSR players. 5e players will not accept nothing. No preparation, no rules mastery, no storytelling ability, and no life coaching. They will not accept it. 5e players have standards, and that's the issue. OSR players have no standards. They'll take whatever sits in the seat, right? And that's another reason why I think so many OSRs are abandoning, right, even the live dungeon masters and going to these solo TPRGs, because they don't really need a skilled dungeon master in any way. And the OSR I'm starting to understand, is really the sanctuary for really bad dungeon masters, for anybody who's willing to put the word dungeon master on themselves with no ability to actually deliver for it. It is incredible. The OSR is a sanctuary for dungeon masters who cannot meet 5e expectations. That's my humble opinion, right? And I'm just so thankful to Ben for being somebody who's coming along and saying, yes, if you're a 5e player, you have massive demands for your dungeon master. And if you are an OSR player, you just need a body who's gonna roll on a random encounter table and just set up the next living thing for you to kill. That's all the OSR needs. Ben's saying it flat out. Just watch the video, right? And if I said this, everybody'd be very dismissive, because I'm a named antagonist of the OSR. I do not support what the OSR is doing, and I really want the OSR to shove every person in there over to 5e, right? I want the OSR to disappear. So if I say it, I get it. You're dismissive. An OSR champion saying flat out, I am in the OSR because I do not want to meet the expectations. And and the other thing is, I have to say this. I'm sorry. I think Ben is a lackluster person, right? And the reason why is he is awesome, but every day he wakes up and he turns his awesome switch off, and he's like, I can absolutely be a leader of the world. I can absolutely, help somebody to have a better life. I can absolutely be an epic storyteller. I can absolutely master any book you put in front of me. I don't want to. He's saying it flat out, right? He's saying, I do not want to meet these expectations. And the reason why I'm calling this out is I see this every day. Every day. I see people who are epic tier humans who are just like, don't put weight on my shoulders. I ain't going to take it. I don't want it. And I get it. It's hard, right? Like, I'm here every day saying to people, get better. Whatever nonsense you're serving up to your players, it's not enough. And check my comments. People flow in and are like, how dare you call me to better, right? And Ben is there saying, I call you to suck, right? Like, I'm permissioning you to suck, right? And what's wild is Ben doesn't suck. He's brilliant. He's smarter than I am, right? His content is really engaging, right? But also he's telling you flat out, I do not want expectations on me. Every day I wake up and I turn my awesome switch off, right? And he's a lackluster person because he's choosing to lackluster. And I get it. When you try for excellence, when you say, I'm going to master these rules, I'm going to be an epic storyteller, and I'm going to be a life coach, people will flock to your comments to tear you down and to say you're wrong and to say, how dare you try to climb? We're all laying on the floor. How dare you stand up? How dare you stand up and tell us there's more, right? And I'm so thankful to this truly honest, truly epic video, and just this truth about the OSR and the 5e. And here's the truth in a nutshell, in my humble opinion. 5e players have standards, extremely high standards. OSR, literally, if you are a human and you can sit in the chair and you're willing to slap the words Dungeon Master, they will excuse every deficiency. They have no standards beyond human person sitting in the chair. That's it, right? Woo! I am shocked by this video, and I'm so glad somebody's coming along and saying, yes, if you're a 5e player, you are expecting your Dungeon Master to be a life coach. I've known this for 3 years. Thank goodness somebody has recognized it and acknowledged it and stated it publicly, right? And somebody who's respected, right? Who everybody loves. Like, and that's the other thing is I think, like, Ben is like a human puppy. Like, just everybody loves puppies. Everybody loves Ben, right? And the reason I realize now why everybody loves Ben, he's like, I'm an awesome person, but I turn my awesome switch off every day and I just suck it. I just do whatever I want and there's no standards and it doesn't matter, right? And everybody's like, oh man, that's cool. It'd be cool to just be applauded for whatever nonsense I want to serve up, right? And, it's amazing. I just am so, like, thank you, Ben, for being honest, and thank you for shedding a light on something I've been begging people to see, right? And you hit a spotlight on it, right? OSR players have no standards. 5e players have extremely high standards of Dungeon Masters, including expecting that the Dungeon Masters improve their lives. There you go. All that's my humble opinion. I am so eager to hear yours. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful millennium.